for being here today, and thank you to the World Strategic Forum for having us and opening up these dialogues around what's happening here in my home state of Florida. Today is going to be very interesting because we have a few different talks around quantum. You'll hear my personal story later on this afternoon, along with a lot of the other colleagues that I've been working with in the industry of quantum. Over the last couple of years, I've had the real privilege to learn as much as I possibly can about this emerging technology. And when I say technology, there are many other areas around it rather than just the hardware that we're traditionally thinking of, but there's sensors, networking, and there's a company in particular called Ionq that has really paved the way in a lot of excellence around all of the different areas of quantum technology. And it's my real privilege today to introduce the CEO of Ionq, Niccolo De Masi. Niccolo.
All right, hello everyone. We've had a renaissance morning already. We've done Haiti, we've done real estate. Now we're going to move to quantum computing, networking, and sensing. It is great to be here. And I'm going to spend the next 15 or 20 minutes or so spinning you through the world of quantum computing, quantum networking, and quantum sensing, which, though it has been spoken about for decades, is truly inflecting right now. So Ionq is the world's largest public quantum company. I'm the chairman and CEO. This is a business that's been going for 30 years. If you think about where our research came from initially, our founder came out of the University of Maryland. I'm a physicist myself, but I always jokingly say that I stopped at the master's degree. And as a result of that, I get to work with fantastic, brilliant people who we keep adding to the fold, both organically and inorganically, to make sure that we have the prevailing roadmap in what we believe is the end point of the computing revolutions of the past 80 years. So I'm here to talk about powering the quantum renaissance from Miami and from the great state of Florida. I've given this talk overseas, but actually never in the United States. The last time I talked about the quantum renaissance, I was actually in the north of Italy, in Lake Como, and I thought it was a fitting place to talk about the Renaissance. But actually, Florida's probably just as fitting a place to talk about the Renaissance because we're at the intersection of so many cultures, intersections of so many countries right here. And every aspect of our modern world is actually going to be positively impacted by quantum computing, quantum networking, and quantum sensing. This will be the case in healthcare, defense and intelligence, logistics. You'll see this crop up in the supply chain. You'll see this happen in material science. You won't see this turn up probably in helping your kids cheat on their homework, which is good news. I always like to point out that classical AI has two superpowers that we all know about. One, it's really good at running banner ads. So classical AI is really good at low latency turnaround times and getting us in the audience monetized as people. And that's why Facebook and Google buy so many GPUs. And then, of course, classical AI is really good at letting people cheat on their homework. That's not where quantum computing, quantum networking, and quantum sensing is focused. We are focused on applied science, and we're focused on powering your economy and powering your businesses. If we think about the last 400 or 500 years, we had the original Renaissance, the Age of Enlightenment, we had the Industrial Revolution, and the 20th century was, of course, the Information Age. The 21st century is going to be all about quantum technologies. And the great news is you haven't missed it. We're just inflecting right now. Over the course of the next few years, it will become increasingly apparent that the world is moving from classical analogs to quantum ones. And Ionq aims to build the full quantum internet. And that's why we do quantum computing, quantum networking, and quantum sensing. And my call to action for today at the World Strategic Forum is everyone in the room actually plays a role. Everyone plays a part in igniting this quantum renaissance. We love working with businesses that seem like they are not necessarily on the cutting edge of technology, because the beautiful thing is, whether or not you are in a physical goods business, a software business, a hardware business, we have a partnership for you. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about Ionq. We are the world's largest company in the sector by every measure. We're traded on the New York Stock Exchange. We have about a $20 billion market capitalization. And we're the largest company by every metric, by revenue, by cash balance, by market cap, by patents, by PhDs, by employees. We've spent about $3.5 billion on R&D getting to where we are today. We continue to spend a lot of money on R&D every year. And we're proud of the fact that we have led this revolution for 30 years, and I'll come back to that in a second. But our founder actually created the category as far back as '95. We're a global business, so wherever you all are, we will meet you pretty close to where your office is. And we're proud of the fact that as we've continued to expand, we have added talent, and we've added locations, and we've added capabilities, mostly to follow our customers. Right? We follow you guys where you tell us that you need us to go. Particularly if you're a multinational business, we like to be right there with you, serving your global customers. If I think about quantum economies, one of the things we're proudest of is the fact that we sell complete solutions. So quantum computing, quantum networking, quantum sensing. All of our partners here are taking more than one solution from us. And we want to work with you and work with your countries and work with your key industries to sell complete solutions. We want to sell quantum networks that help you keep your data secure. We want to, of course, provide quantum computers that help you calculate and solve solutions and problems that you'll never be able to solve using classical GPUs and classical AI. And increasingly, we also have the opportunity to sell quantum sensors around the world and connect those to our networks and computers. And so, as you maybe catch me after today's talk, I'd love to talk to you about how we can solve solutions for you in whatever domain, country, and sector you're in. Ionq's the first company in the world to not only be a public quantum business, we IPO'd in 2020, but we're the first to expand our vision from computing into networking into sensing. And so we're the world's most complete quantum platform. We offer quantum cybersecurity solutions. We offer quantum networking. We offer a number of quantum sensors, which a colleague of mine named Jamil is going to spend more time with you on later today and tomorrow morning. And of course, the core business remains in changing the world through this endpoint in the computing revolutions of the past 80 years that is quantum computing. We like to operate all of these together. And the reality is, it's coming faster than people have ever thought because of the fact that Ionq is creating solutions both organically and inorganically. And so we're driving things, as I like to say, to the left on our roadmap every day of the week. I mentioned that we kicked off this industry. This is completely the case and unambiguously the case. So Ionq got the quantum space started in '95. Our machines powered on in 2017. We IPO'd in 2020, and we put all of our machines on all of the public clouds, Amazon, Google, Microsoft. This has been a big year for us, and as a result, the whole notion of quantum, because we've demonstrated what's called quantum advantage 3 times, unambiguously. We did that with NVIDIA at GTC in March, when we demonstrated computational speedups with a partner called Synopsys in computational engineering. We did it again in helping what's called a generative adversarial network learn faster in April this year. And then most spectacularly in June, we delivered a 20x speedup on computational drug design in partnership with AstraZeneca, NVIDIA, and Amazon Web Services. And 20x is a big deal, right? Because we're turning almost a month of computational work into a day. And we're doing that with our technology that was cutting edge for us last year. So our new machine is going to make that speed up even more, which means there'll be a day soon, probably next year, when we can turn a full year of computational drug design into just a day. It literally is changing the world because we can look at more therapeutics, both chronic disease as well as acute disease, as well as, of course, vaccines. All of this can be sped up at the top of the funnel because of our quantum computers. We operate what's called a full gate model generalized quantum computer. And we're proud of the fact that we have founded the sector and led the way for 30 years. What gate model quantum computers do is basically, well, the broadest set of applications you can imagine. And we're proud of the fact that whether it's in material science, drug discovery, logistics, predictions, financial services, defense and intelligence, we are right there with you. Now, we also have a growing federal business, and this is something that also intersects with the great state of Florida. We care a lot about our men and women in uniform. We have a lot of men and women in uniform at our company, and we're proud of the leadership that we've attracted over the last year or two to make sure that we can serve the defense intelligence organizations to our fullest extent. We're in a race, obviously, on a global basis on who is going to win the quantum era. And Ionq believes it will be us, and it will be this great nation, of course, and this great state. And so if you're in the defense intelligence space, please don't be shy about coming to chase me up afterwards also. We have lots of people with security clearances at Ionq, and we're proud of the fact that we probably have the largest quantum federal program that's operating worldwide. So broad commercial advantage. I don't know how many people in the audience are physicists or engineers or mathematicians, but if you are, you'll know that we have talked about this moment for decades. The moment when quantum computers, Ionq's quantum computers, will be able to do things that are simply not solvable using any classical means. And I'm proud to say that that era has dawned, right? You haven't missed it, it's just starting, but it's going to inflect really quickly. And it's going to inflect quickly because of the fact that our computers don't move forward at the rate of Moore's law. So we don't double in compute power every generation. We actually double in compute power every time we add what's called a logical qubit. And so we can be doubling compute power every week sometimes. And between generations of machines, you can see them become hundreds of millions or even billions of times more powerful. Our machine from this year to next year is going to be 260 million times more powerful in a year. And that rate of increase will actually steepen. So between generations, as we go between here and 2029 and 2030, you'll see the machines become billions and trillions and quadrillions of times more powerful between every generation. It's truly difficult for all of us to comprehend because we say that the human brain isn't good at exponentials. We're really not good at double exponentials. But this is what is happening. An avalanche of computing power is being opened up, and problems that used to be incalculable are now solvable. The exciting thing about this is there's huge implications in a very positive way for job growth and our economies. And that's true in the state of Florida, and that's true nationwide. Our drug discovery example from June actually had a piece of a problem that we solved 650x faster than any classical GPU data center could. And so in the next few years, you're going to see quantum computers power workloads in partnership with classical data centers and GPUs. And at the same time, you're going to see that because of our energy efficiency, we're able to take down more and more of a problem more and more efficiently and more cost effectively as well. You know, right now, I think it's like 5% of the grid is going on powering data centers. I don't think the future is going to be 50% of the grid going to power classical data centers. And so quantum computing has a really instrumental role in making sure that we're power efficient, that civilization as we know it continues, your data stays safe, and at the same time, you're able to do things cost effectively and efficiently. Our new machine that we announced on September 12th has 100 physical qubits, 64 algorithmic qubits, and it is 36 quadrillion times more powerful than any other quantum computer that you can access through the public cloud. Now, I've run 14 public companies in my career, and I can proudly say I've never had a number that had 36 quadrillion in it in a public market presentation. But we've said it a number of times, we're very proud of it, and we're proud of the benchmarks that support it. And that number will increase as our machines become more powerful. Now, quantum sensors, I've made a couple of comments on. This is our newest product family, and my colleague Jamil is going to go into a lot of depth on this later today and tomorrow. But quantum sensors are all around us. This is the piece of the quantum revolution that has been here, and everybody in the room actually interacts with most minutes of the day. GPS requires quantum sensors and atomic clocks. And everybody in the room, I bet, uses GPS on your phone at some point during the year, or during the day, rather. We're going to make GPS more accurate. Our clocks are necessary for a whole family of positioning and navigation and time solutions that are going to power not just next year, but the next decade. You need them in all sorts of sectors for increasing accuracy. And items like inertial navigation, inertial sensors help, obviously, both Navy ships and submarines keep track of where they are, even when they don't have access to GPS. Exciting intersections for us are, of course, the quantum internet, where we can capture data using our quantum sensors, compute it using our quantum computers, and then transmit it securely using our quantum networks. Quantum networking is the backbone of what I think our modern world is going to need very soon. And the reason for that is it's unhackable. If you think we have challenges today with cybersecurity, and we do, right? There's only two types of problems I like to jokingly say. There's the hackers you know about and the hackers in your system you don't know about. Everybody needs quantum key distribution and quantum networking because not only is it practically unhackable, it is absolutely secure from a physics perspective. And so even in 50 years, people will not be able to break our quantum key distribution and quantum networking. And so our quantum economy in all the nations I've shown you a few minutes ago relies upon quantum networking because modern-day banking, e-commerce, really the whole fabric of the digital world relies upon the fact that you can't practically crack and hack what it is that we rely on every day to transact. So when I think about the quantum economy, Ionq is providing application development, we're providing training to a lot of nations and states and companies. We're providing quantum networking, quantum security, quantum sensing, quantum computing. And we want to partner with you in all of these industries. This is a very real and relevant call to action, not only for your companies, but for your countries. And we very much want to work with you to make sure you're the lead player in your sector, in your country, in your economy, to ensure that you're playing the game where the puck is going. Ionq has solved the hardware challenges in the quantum ecosystems. We have the best computers. We think we're 5 years ahead of anybody else that purports to try and build quantum computers. We're the biggest player in our space, and we also offer far more than just computers, networks and sensors, which means the game is moving on to the software layer. And my rallying cry for the quantum renaissance and quantum economies is about software. If you're wondering where to invest in your companies, countries around the world, think about application development, think about training and education around that, because the world is going to quantum applications. And the sooner that your company, your team, your country knows how to build quantum applications on our hardware, the sooner you're going to capture value and realize value. So I'm going to close here where I started, which is the quantum renaissance is upon us. And we want to work with you to ignite that. We're very focused at Ionq on how every single sector of applied science in our modern world is being positively impacted by our quantum hardware. But we need your help on the applications and the training. For anyone who remembers their high school physics class, whenever you did it, I can assure you there's a lot more quantum on the curriculum today. That was true in my era, it's true in today's era. And that is completely appropriate because the next generation needs to learn how to drive quantum applications. Last call to action for this morning is stick around, please, to talk to my colleague Jamil. He's doing a couple panels on quantum networking later today and tomorrow. And Jamil will help tie together quantum applications in a world of networking, sensing, and computing. So please don't be shy. Look forward to meeting everyone. Thank you for your time, and have a great rest of your morning.